well, they want to focus farm for this Marco, but unfortunately, Dao is straight. He's just going straight for that first camp. Gets the board camp, now hits level 2, way faster than 6.
Yeah, and that's just the difference here with people who understand their heroes, their power spikes, what they can take on right from the beginning.
Yeah, and look, Moon is now stuck in this place. He has to try and help out against Kirker, who may get the last hit as well. Okay, got it. What the?
It looks like... yeah, Keke is going to have to get out of there. We're not seeing as much pressure there. I want to say Moon wants to kind of be that pressure point, but it looks like OG kind of have the same thing in mind. Oh, speaking of which, Keke, a little bit of trouble there. Takes down to about 50%. Not too afraid of what was going out there, but this time we're not seeing as much pressure. Not that kill coming on the Keke, so he's not as afraid. And will that kind of snowball earlier for the side of OG?
Definitely will. If you take a look at the rotation, one already has a decent rotation coming in because of the teleportation portal. And for now, feeding Dao that shared gold, shared experience, it's definitely providing a lot of value. Dao is almost level 5. For our errors.
Yeah, we see here the big pressure here at mid lane. Moon trying to come in there from the side and already starting to get held back a bit. Not able to get those early rotations on the Mai Shiranu. Is now got those Dazzle fans to kind of finish off some of those minions. I always laugh when I just Milady's minions are just such a nuisance. They don't feel like it at the beginning. It's like, all right, we're gonna deal with this, but then after a while, as you move into the mid game, they start really chunking you. Keke getting caught here by Sick, but not sure if this is a fight he wants.
I don't think he got caught. I think it's more of like Sick got caught. He thought he was the predator, but he actually is the prey. And now you start to see the value of having when play this Milady, right? Look, a lot of free damage on the T1 in the mid. Yes, this is 3-4 minutes, so there is armor provided. But straight away, Dao's entrance into the Azure Golem, he should be able to get the execute here and will steal away the Azure buff.
Ooh, they're on the back line. Looks like they might actually be able to get... Ooh, a flash comes out. Keke looking for that escape. A little bit of shield built up onto him. Team trying to protect his escape, and out like the wind, he escapes. Down goes Moon and Sick.
And they go too far. Like, look, this is standard OG. Kirker felt like he was gonna fall, take a fall, but it was 90 glow when they get punished.
You know what? And now I'm starting to understand this pick for the Milady. It's not just about like you want to cheese, but if you are creating something, what's the biggest problem with facing a Milady in the mid lane? You can't leave the mid lane because the moment you leave mid lane, she's gonna take over with her minions. What does Mai Shiranu want to do the entire game? She wants to access those side lanes as much and as often as possible. Now we're punishing her every single time she leaves.
Yes, you need a numbers advantage, right? And that's the strength of the Mai Shiranui's movement, rotation, the ability to move faster because you can win a 2v1, no problem. You have burst in your kit. But now that they are behind on the back foot, this is so difficult. Now let's take a look. Okay, this was the so-called solo kill coming in for the side of the lefty. That's why you take the Purify, right? So you can deal with the right to win by Han. The knockbacks, it does not help you defend against lefty's ultimate.
Oh yeah, Sick comes in here trying to deal some damage onto those minions, but there's about 10% left on this mid tower. Once they're able to open up this mid tower, it really opens up the map for the enemy. Speaking of which, Leffy getting locked onto is going to have to try to use that flash to get away and taken down with the Conductor of Souls. Meanwhile, down goes Wen on the opposite side. 2 to 4, oh actually 2 to 5. There are 3 down for 9Z Global, and they took a loss in Wen.
Yep, Dao here is on fire. Should be able to get a 4th one. He's godlike at this point. And OG, they're taking everything for themselves. Now, this is only... Look, it's less than 5 minutes into the game. But here's one pattern you should have noticed by now. Every single time the buffs come up, OG is there waiting on the side of 9Z Global's jungle.
Yeah, and that is the unfortunate thing that happens. Once that first buff is secured, boom, they've locked in, they got the number, they know when it's going to be up again, they can set things up as well. Here, you can see the Fuzi underneath Win doing his best to try to protect it, only 10% left, and down goes the tower. Keke into the back lines, gets a big pop-up onto 2 members. He might be down for the count. They are able to find a kill onto him, but they lose Leffy in the back.
Once again, Keke is giving his life for the cause, right? And this one is a good trade. It doesn't matter how many times Keke falls, as long as OG makes the sufficient trades. And once again, we take a look. Last game, it was Keke doing the split push. This game, it's Wen doing the split push on the Milady pick.
Yeah, but and still Keke is able to get that access into the back line, even if just to kind of hold them there while they get the tower here. Meanwhile, you can see Dao just doing a great job. He's all over enemy jungle, picking up. Even here, nothing is safe. These you thought you were going to be able to get some of these minions? Nope, that's mine too. Also, this Azure Golem, that's going to be mine as well. They're just so offensive that it's almost, I want to say, congesting that now 9Z actually in trouble here. Another conductor of souls finds Win RJ, and another one down for the count on 9Z.
Truly gone like the wind, and T3s are on the menu at this point for OG. A freebie. Is this the end of the game though?
Well, yeah, they're looking to try to end it. They have some minions crawling their way towards the core. Now coming in, we're going to see if they have the offense here. This is where a lot of games can be lost here. Maybe sometimes teams don't overestimate the damage that they can do to these cores, down to about 50%. Down goes Dao. The rest of the team smartly turns away.
Okay, there is still some life left in 9Z Global, right? A little bit of an overcommitment by Dao, and this is allowing them to get the shutdown. Now, is there a huge swing of gold? Not really, let's be honest, because it's still close to 2,500 in terms of gold lead for Dao, but they have caught another Wen takes a fall.
Oh, yeah, they might actually be able to transition this into a possible tower at the mid, which will help open up the map for the side of 9Z, give them some wiggle room when it comes to some of these fights. Now they're starting to take advantage into the jungle. A few missteps there by OG. 9Z showing that they can be that same type of nuisance. If you make a mistake, they're going to be right there as well. But back on the map, Dao, that raid boss, looking to kind of take those front lines into 9Z.
But this is exactly what you need to do, right? As 9Z Global, you cannot allow that mental space. You cannot allow OG to feel like, okay, we are definitely in control. You know, we're not going to contest you for buffs. Fight for everything. You have to give them the pressure. And I think 9Z Global, they're holding on, you know, quite well mentally, but they need items, so they need to buy more time.
Yeah, and right now you can see them. They just have, with all of these towers down, all the way down to basically the high grounds on the sides, they just have such great access onto the side of 9Z. And there's very little room for 9Z to be able to run back if things go wrong. Speaking of which, Dao, access to the back lines. Meanwhile, Milady able to take the tower. It's so oppressive right now. They're just able to dive that back line, push back 9Z. Meanwhile, the rest of the team's going to go ahead and take the tower.
Yes, it's really just making sure there's no backdoor protection, right? Once the minions are in range, they get the free hits. And with Wen on this Milady, it's always free damage. And, you know, there's a lot of poke as well coming out from the side of OG. It's so scary. Getting the flaming palms, getting the downfall, not only getting the heals, he's getting the damage in as well. So this is a tough defense for 9Z Global.
Ooh, Wind RJ actually almost got caught there on the Fuzi on the side. Speaking of which, speaking of caught, Sick actually in a little bit of trouble, down to about 10%, and the flash. I believe that was that Keke who kind of came in there? Came in there trying to finish the job. Minions crashing through the mid lane while the rest of OG focus their efforts onto the last high ground tower. Now it's just the base, cold and alone here with no towers left. Another kill goes onto Moon and a Sick. Capo goes down, 10% left on the core, and the second game a full sweep for